Hey, what is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to give you some tips on catching striped bass in rivers and lakes. I want to show y'all some lures that just may work for you. Alright, so if you are fishing for striped bass early in the morning, and those striped bass, if they're coming up on the surface to feed, then a topwater lure may just work for you. Particularly, one of these style top water lures may work for you in a shad color, may work really well. And this size right here could work very well. And larger sizes could work as well, depending on what size bait fish that the striped bass are feeding on. And some other lures that can work really well when the striped bass are deeper in, like, say, the middle of the day, are some soft plastic swim baits. You could get just something like this, or you could take one of these. Something about this size should work really well. It just depends what size bait fish the striped bass are feeding on, but anything starting from, say, 4 inches to, they could hit something all the way up to probably 12 inches. That may be a little big, something 12 inches, but a perfect size for the bigger striped bass. The bigger striped bass, they can feed on smaller bait fish, but they mainly are feeding on bigger bait fish because they're bigger and have, a bigger appetite. But now I'm going to switch over to talking about some parts of the rivers and lakes that you can go to find striped bass. So, some rocky bluff areas in the river are really good for striped bass, and in the lakes too. They're really good. Some really deep, rocky areas. It's where you can find you some striped bass. Also, some points would be good for striped bass. Mainly, you're going to find your striped bass in deep water. Even if it is early in the morning and the striped bass are coming on the surface to feed, I said you could use swim baits when they're deeper. Yeah, they come slightly shallow, but they're mainly pretty deep still. I mean, how crappie and largemouth and smallmouth bass, they come up very shallow, like maybe in like 3 foot of water, but you're not going to find your striped bass there usually. I mean, it's not impossible, but you're not likely to find a striped bass very shallow. You will probably want to try anywhere from 10 foot deep to something like, they go all the way up to like 35, 40 foot deep, 50 foot deep, 60 foot deep. When it's really hot, they go to really deep parts of the lake. So you can find them on humps, really deep humps in the lakes, or really deep bluffs in the lakes, or really deep points. Those bait fish really like to go where those humps are, and those striped bass will just come and have a feeding frenzy on those bait fish. And in rocky areas, bait fish like to go around rocks, so striped bass will go to the rocks and feed on those, have a feeding frenzy there too. But there's some tips for striped bass. Hopefully you can get out and catch you some striped bass. Y'all have a blessed day, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more hunting and fishing videos and tips. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'll catch y'all later.